Guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another foundation review, and this is actually a foundation that a lot of you have been requesting that I review for actually a really long time, maybe even over a year. So I'm so sorry that it took me so long. It's tricky when there's so many foundations released and it's like, oh, get on the new stuff. But this is actually, I think it's been on the market for about 2 to 3 years now. This is the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. Now this one particularly spikes my interest because it's a mattifying finish, but it's still a hydrating formula. And I talk about this all the time, but the real issue with many of the products on the market, and especially for us with oily skin, if we're looking for a matte foundation, is that they suck the life out of your skin. They make your skin dry. They've got ingredients in them that actually, I don't know, literally all I can say is suck the life out of your skin. It's the best way to describe it. And basically when that happens, your skin just overproduces more oil, and it's basically a vicious cycle and you get nowhere. But this is a hydrating formula that still has a matte finish. So yeah, we're going to be doing a full review. I'm going to show you guys how it applies on my skin. I'm going to wear it for 12 hours today, and we're going to see if it's actually worth the hype. Now, I've had a look on the internet. This one's rated 4.5 stars out of 5. Maybelline says that it is a refreshing gel whipped foundation that leaves complexion perfected and smooth with a velvety soft matte finish, whilst hydrating the skin for 12 hours. So I think that's a really, really big claim. 30 ml of product in this one. I have got the shade 75 Natural Beige. And it does say on the Maybelline website that they recommend applying it with a blending sponge. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to prime half of my face only. Let's put primer on this side of my face. I'm going to use a Superstay primer. And then on this side, we're going to do no primer. And we're going to wear it all day and see how she goes. I really am sorry that it's taken me so long to review this. I get requests and requests and requests and requests to do it. I wonder if it's because it's so highly rated. Like, it's obviously a very hyped up product. Hopefully it's a good color match too, because this is the only one I've got. Also, excuse how puffy my eyes are. I don't know what's going on today. Hormones, how you doing? Okay, so the packaging is a little squeezy tube, which I like. I'm gonna pop the product on the back of my hand. Ooh, it is moussey, isn't it? Oh my gosh. That is not going anywhere. This reminds me of the Rimmel Stay Matte foundation formula, and we all know that I love that foundation, so maybe this one's just as good. So picking up my blending sponge, I guess I'll pick up some of that product and dot it over my face. I couldn't see anywhere, like listed anywhere, what kind of coverage they promise with this one, so I guess we'll find out. Okay, I'm blending it on the side with no primer first. Ooh. Okay, I would call it medium coverage. We'll see if it's buildable, but it's really not. I mean, it's not covering up all that redness. I always love doing foundation reviews when I've got acne going on and my skin is like flared up and annoyed, because it really shows how a product works. It really shows the coverage. So it's blending out fairly well. It does feel quite smooth on the skin. It feels quite lightweight. Like I said, medium coverage. It is covering up the redness, but I have used a majority of that product that was on the back of my hand, and we've only done half of my face. So yeah, it's more of like a medium buildable coverage. Now, of course, we don't have primer on this side, so that could obviously make a big difference as to how much product you need. Foundation always goes further if you've primed the surface. Okay, so there it is on that side of my face. It does look quite smooth. It feels quite velvety. It's got like a silicone type texture to it. I would say it's doing a reasonable job of hiding my enlarged pores and my texture. But yeah, all that product's gone, so I'm going to have to apply, I'll just apply the same amount to the back of my hand again, and we will go back in. I think it was about that much. Yep. Color match is actually really good, I think. Yeah, color match is good. Sometimes the camera and the lighting completely throws off how things look. So yeah, just trust me if I say a color matches me. In person, it matches. So applying it to the primed side now. Yeah, I do think you get better coverage out of it when you're wearing a primer. I will say that. Yeah, I'm getting way more coverage on the primed side. I've only used like probably not even half, and I've already done majority. So there you go, guys. It travels further and you'll get more coverage if you prime the skin properly. Okay, so I would say that we've got the same amount of coverage on both sides of my face now. Still got majority of that product left on the back of my hand, so yeah. Okay, so that's what my skin is looking like now with both sides applied. I feel like, is it a little patchy? I feel like it's a little patchy just here, and I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, I do have textured skin. You guys know this. Maybe it's a little clingy on texture. My skin's certainly not dry in any way. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's zoom in and have a closer look though. Oh, look how puffy my under eyes are. That is insane. Probably those Krispy Kreme donuts I ate last night. Oh, no shame. But here is the side without the primer. I feel like it looks quite smooth. Like I said, it feels quite velvety on the skin. It's definitely dried down, like it's not sticky in any way, but at the same time, I feel like my skin's still got a little bit of luminosity so it doesn't look like a mask. So yeah, non-primed side and then primed side. Oh, maybe it was just a light. Does it still look patchy? You guys are going to be able to judge it better on camera than me, but just feel like it's a little patchy, like just here. But primed side still looks smooth. Otherwise, coverage is pretty good. Yeah, I think so far so good. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup. I'll come back and show you what it is looking like at that point, and then we're going to wear her all day long. As per the usual, I will do a 6-hour check-in halfway through the day so that we can see how it's going sort of midway, and then tonight is the real test. All right, so I'm back with the rest of my makeup on, and this is what my skin is looking like. I'm pretty happy with how things powdered down. I use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I use the Too Faced Peach Perfect Powder. It still looks quite smooth. Nothing kind of transferred off while I was applying bronzer and things like that, so that's a really good sign. I feel like it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? See any difference between the primed and non-primed side? I can't really now that I've got the rest of the makeup on, but you typically can't really until later on in the day when you see, lasting results. But let's zoom in and have a closer look. I feel like it looks good. I feel for a really affordable foundation at this point, I feel like my skin looks pretty good. So here it is close up. Like I said earlier, it is a matte velvety finish. It's quite lightweight, but I feel like my skin still looks like skin. Like it's not like this crazy over-the-top matte look. There's still a little bit of luminosity. It's not settling into any of my fine lines, and I feel like it's done a reasonable job of concealing my enlarged pores and things like that as well. And now that the rest of like the powder and stuff's on, I can no longer notice that patchiness that I was seeing earlier as well. So at this point, things look good. So yeah, I'm gonna go about the rest of my day. I will see you guys in 6 hours and we'll see what we're looking like at that point. Hey guys, so it's officially been 6.5 hours, so I thought I would check back in and show you what my skin is looking like. Unfortunately, at this point, it's not going so well. I'll zoom in and point out a couple of the issues that I'm having. So first up, the foundation's actually separated a little bit on the end of my nose, and it has actually transferred off just a little. It's sort of coming off my acne spots here, and it's also separating and kind of creasing on the sides of my mouth here. On the side that is not primed, it looks quite textured down on my chin. It's definitely a lot smoother and performs a lot better when you do have a primer on. It's definitely oilier on the side where I haven't primed. On my forehead, it looks great. It hasn't separated or anything up there. It also isn't creasing up there, which is really good. And it does look quite matte. But yeah, unprimed side, I think no go. And primed side, we're having a couple of issues. Nothing really too over the top dramatic for me to be like, no, rule it out completely. I hate it. But yeah, I'm going to keep wearing it. We're going to get to 12 hours and we'll see what it's looking like then. But not sure yet. I'll keep going and I'll see you guys soon. Hey guys, so I'm back with my final check-in. You'll have to excuse me. I've been painting furniture and I am legitimately covered in white paint. It's in my hair. Eyelashes are gone. Yeah. This is what we're working with, okay? Now, as far as my skin goes, I would actually say that it looks fairly similar to how it looked at the 6-hour mark. Definitely got a fair bit of oil happening through the T-zone, but as far as like transferring off more, separating more, caking more, it hasn't really changed at all. It still looks relatively the same. I do still feel like it looks smoother on the side that has been primed as opposed to this side here that hasn't been primed. Just feel like it looks more, I don't know, textured and just less smooth on the skin. The primed side is looking pretty good, but let's zoom in so you can actually see what I'm banging on about. So I'm definitely oily, like you cannot deny that fact, but other than that, it's held up fairly well. I'm actually quite surprised. When we checked in at the 6-hour mark, I was like, oh goodness, this is not looking cute. I think this is going to be a fail. But it hasn't really changed that much since then. As far as, is this going to be my absolute holy grail of favorite foundation? No, definitely not. But it's definitely a really good, affordable drugstore option if you are looking for a matte finish that's not going to feel very drying on the skin, that's not going to, I don't know, look like a mask. Like it's quite a natural luminous matte finish. Obviously it's a hydrating formula. I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. Not my favorite foundation, but I don't hate it either. How do we do these? What do we say when this happens? I think this one is a great option for those days when you're just wanting to chuck a bit of makeup on, you're wanting something that's easy to apply, something that looks nice when you first apply it, something that doesn't, require a lot of effort and time to work onto the skin. This is a good one. I think if I was to wear this any longer, I think it would be way too oily, but definitely for shorter term wear, I think it is a good option, very affordable. Yeah, that's what I've got to say. I feel like it might be easier if I rate this out of 10. Probably give this one like a 6 out of 10. Does that make sense? Like, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. We're kind of in the middle. If you want an amazing 10 out of 10 foundation, the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation. Oh! She's so good. I'll definitely choose that one over this one, but at the same time, it's a very full coverage foundation, whereas this is sort of more like a natural everyday one. So yeah, it just depends on what you're into. But yes, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that it answered any questions that you had about that product. If you do have any more, or you want to request me to review a particular product, foundation, whatever it is, it's fine. Leave it down in the comment section down below. I need to go and get in the shower and I'm like covered in paint. I got it in my hair and I'm so annoyed. Enamel paint is so hard to get out of your hair. It's all over my arms. It's all over my pants. I need to go have a shower. Yeah. I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.